What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Well, today's Wednesday. Willy Wonka Wednesday. That's what you guys want. Honestly, I wasn't going to do it today. I'm kind of getting burnt out on him. I don't know if you guys are, but you guys are always looking forward to it. Every time I put one out, you guys are like, best day of the week. This one is called Prison Gangs, Shoe to GP. Shoe to GP. It's already funny to me. Let's go. Come on, Wes.
Coming out of the shoe back to general population is just the same for me as leaving the penitentiary and entering the free world.
So that's just further proof that Wes Watson was never in the shoe and released out to the GP. It is absolutely nothing like getting released from jail to the streets. When you get kicked out of the shoe, you go to a 180 yard, a level 4 180 yard. That is a shoe kickout yard. That yard is full of sharks, full of piranhas, full of vatos who have just left the shoe, who are probably tipped up, meaning connected to an organization. These are gangsters. These guys are not to be played with. You don't run into that getting out of the fucking prison and coming into society. But this is Wes, man. This is Wes. Let me hit him with it one time.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Yeah. I feel like that button is going to be used a lot today.
So when I come out of the shoe after a 14-month shoe term, I'm automatically sharking on all the other inmates. I'm automatically sensing their weaknesses, seeing how soft they are, and I'm hard checking them. I'm just on them from the gate. When I stepped out last time, it was the first day back on the line, and I'm raising my hand for anything that has to be done for the white race. I'm telling them, hey, let me go back. I'm already sick of you guys. You guys are soft as shit. I'm done with this. Like.
Again. Hold on.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
That button's going to get wore out today. Hey, kid, do you think Wes Watson's full of shit?
Yeah.
Shit, man. He's never been in the shoe. If he would have been in the shoe, he would have had to come back to California, do a shoe term in California, because that's the only places there are shoes for California inmates is in California, not in Oklahoma or Mississippi or Arizona. There's not the shoe. There's ad sags there. There's not a shoe. He would have had to gone to a 180 yard, and there is no way in hell he's going to go to a 180 yard and tell any convict on that yard, you're fucking soft, man. I want to get out of here. And if they're that soft, then you should have blasted one of them and let it be known why you blasted them. But this is all for sure.
Like, I'd rather just be in isolation. I only deal with my cellie, and he was down as fuck. He was ready to go. So I roll back into the building, and these simple fucks are smoking a joint off the table, and they're so damn scared that it just tripped me out. I'm like, what the fuck are you so scared? Smoke the joint or not? So I sit down, and we shave the paint off the table. So I have the paint shaved off the table. I have 2 batteries down and a razor blade. And I have the joint in my mouth, and I'm hitting it, and the cop rolls up. So I just keep smoking it, and all these fools dip on me. So
I think I did this video before. But you know what? The good thing is it's just as stupid as the first time. So I think we could do this still.
So they all go all scared, and they're sitting in the shower. And the cop rolls up, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to finish this shit regardless. So, I mean, he's just like tripping on me while I'm smoking. I'm like, you could go write that shit up, or you could just dip. And he's just fucking tripping on me that I'm actually smoking a joint at the table in front of him. Normally, he wasn't going to walk that time, and that's why these fools were crying, because they had set up the timing all weird. I was all fucked up from being in the shoe. Like, I just really didn't even care. I felt like going back. I didn't like the
I just really didn't even care. I was all fucked up and I was raising my hand and I was just, you could write this up.
Wes, what's up with your voice? Start screaming, homie. Maybe that's why he screams.
Because he doesn't want us to hear what his voice really sounds like. It really sounds like this.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. You're right. Scream, homie. Scream. Bring that back.
program. Everyone seemed like they were doing weird shit. They were congregating too much between races. And it just wasn't for me.
What?
So then, as every single instance that popped up, I was ready to go. And the next instance that popped up...
Why didn't you? You're the shot caller. You're Wes Watson from Dago. Everywhere you go, you got your license plate. They know who you are, and they put you in the leadership position. So you should have led by example and just whacked the shit out of somebody. Got to put a crew together, put a demo down, and let it be known. This is how it's supposed to be. Why are all these incidents happening, and you're ready to go, but you never go? We know why. Same reason why you didn't catch any time.
Was actually a skinhead event, so I was exiled out of it, but I still tried to be part of it. It was when a SDSH member, a San Diego skinhead member, actually had a big dope dead on the yard. So the skinheads were calling for other skinheads to remove this motherfucker. So the removal was gonna be a stabbing. He owed too much money. He was done. He was this little fucking just weird looking motherfucker. Conrad motherfucker from SDSH. Everybody knows that motherfucker locked it up. But anyways, so I'm even raising my hand for this shit. And they're like, Wes, that's the skinhead issue. Let them deal with it. And the hardest motherfucking looking fools are pushing this down. They're pushing this to the side. This one motherfucker, he had rest in piss. And the fucking date of the victim he killed.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. I remember this one. We're going to roll with it, man. I don't know how to stop doing the ones I already did. They're just as stupid every time, and we get to laugh at them. The ridiculousness. Those of you that have never been in prison, please don't ever, ever, ever listen to a Wes Watson story and think that's how prison is in California. He was never in a California prison. He was in a prison out of state that housed California inmates, but he wasn't in a California prison. And for all you platforms that keep hiring him, that keep inviting him on, can you please look at his last 3 videos? And it's a sign of what's going on with his channel. He's struggling to get 8,000 views per video. YouTube is not it for him, so he's not going to help your platforms, especially with the lies. If you are going to bring him on your platform, hopefully you ask him about what prisons he was in California. And you call him on some of his bullshit. One of you guys has the balls, right? You guys are all on roids. You know, you guys could have a roid off. You know, wrestle. He'd enjoy it.
Literally. The date of the motherfucker he killed and rest in piss tatted on his fucking forehead. He had Hitler on his face right here, Chucky on the other side. I mean, a swastika his whole back. He was actually, people are going to make fun of this, but he was.
What do you have on his dick, Wes? I mean, you're checking out every part of his body. What tattoo was on his dick, Wes? You know. My bad, guys. He's just ridiculous, skinny ass fingers. Look at his hands.
He was a good motherfucker when I hung out with him. He ran a solid program. He ended up having yards I was at later. And I don't dislike the dude, but I dislike the fact that he had so much shit blasted on his face. He was so supposedly down for his people with 1488 under his cheeks right here. The whole 9, just looking the part. And then when it finally was a chance for him to go put his time in and land his ass in the shoe, his bitch ass bitched out on that shit. And that shit was what pisses me off. Because here I am coming off of...
So what did you do? At the time, you say he bitched up. What did you do? The great leader that you are, how mad you are right now telling the story, spitting and screaming and scaring the ducks and shit. Like, what did you do around that man in front of those other men? You didn't do shit. Shut up, Wes. Guys that were really in prison, we know, like, the doo-doo that you're speaking on. Your stories are shit. The game is up. The jig is up. but they are funny.
14-month beef in the shoe. I just caught 365 extra on my time, and I'm ready to raise my hand again. So, I mean, this is the thing. This is how the respect isn't across the board. This is why prison's like that. I risked my life for you to live yours in the manner you do, so you're going to risk yours when the chance comes for me to live the life in prison in the manner that I do.
But you already did it. You already risked your life to live the life that you lived in your life, that lifestyle of the lifing. Something like that, you said. You did it all. And then you were ready. You keep saying you were ready to raise your hand. What was stopping you from raising your hand? You were ready, right? Ready? Were you like ready in your cell, but then when you went to yard, I gotta go do some pull-ups. I gotta go do some dips and shit, you know, but I'll be ready. Is that what it was? Like, what was it? Why were you just ready, but you weren't putting in the work at all? You had one fist fight. One fist fight. But I hear you.
And the reason the politics are there are for protection, or else there will be extortion across the racial barriers. Blacks would extort whites. Homies would extort whites. There would be extortion between races.
Who are the whites gonna extort? They just get extorted in your world? Wes, where were you, man? Who were you around? I know some fucking very heavy hitting white dudes, man, in prison. You don't ever mention them. You're always the one. In your stories, you're that hardest hitter, but you're never putting in work. You're talking about how you're ready to, but you just never put in work. Well, that's strange.
There would be rape. There is no rape in California prison because of these politics.
Okay.
Do you want these politics, or do you want booty bandits and this other shit?
I just want to be out here in the free world. What are you talking about? Are you really telling people out here, asking them if they want rape in prison? You know they don't have a say, right, Wes? Then again, you have saying you were never there, so you're right.
That they talk about in these other states' prison channels. We don't have that shit. GP California, if anybody got into anything like that, they would be dead on the spot. If you're white, if you're homie, if you're paisa, anything like that, this is not happening. It's never happened. I've never seen it. This would be murder on the spot. So these are the reasons why the politics exist, and that's why I back them. Would you rather fucking worry about that or this? I would rather flip a coin or roll the dice every day of the week and have to put in some work than have to worry about that other shit. So the point is being down for your people, putting in the work. That's the height of respect. Here I am coming off the shoe on a 14-month beef that I just picked up, and these dudes who are looking the part, they seem like they did the time. They got the stories that when it was chance for them to get up to bat, they didn't step up. So this is what always fucking happens in there. This is what happens out here.
It always happens in there. And we're going to stick to in there. Because every video you talk about people getting killed and they cut their eyebrow and then they kill them and then they cut their face and then they kill them. It's on site, killed on site, the most militant place ever on the planet Earth. There's a lot of like conflicting stuff going on. So can you let us know who's really with it and who's not? Because right now you're saying nobody's with it except you, but I don't know. I don't understand. This shit is all over the place. This is what happens when you make stuff up. You ramble and you find yourself in the weeds, and then you can't get out of the weeds because the whole thing's made up. So then you make up more shit that doesn't go with the first part. But I'm glad that the top of his head is not in the video, so we can kind of take him a little bit more serious. Because if we see the baby hairs on top, because they're always going like this in the wind, it's not. You can't take you serious. Can't take you serious at all.
This is these tatted dudes. These are these people who look a certain way, and they don't walk the talk. I don't even care if it's prison. I don't care. If you act a certain way, if you possess a certain demeanor, you have to walk in line with that character 24/7. That's why I'll never sleep in. That's why my wake up time's 2:45, and that's why I initiate the roll call on my Instagram for everyone to join with me. Because I want you to hold me accountable.
he does a fucking roll call on his Instagram. This is the epitome of somebody that was a nobody in prison, but wants like the whole time he was a nobody in prison, he had like dreams and aspirations of one day they were gonna allow him to call roll call. Allow him to call roll call. Like that was something great. Is he holding his breath? What's wrong with this guy?
I'm talking a certain way. I'm going to back it up. And this is what's kept me in line since I've been out. Because I said so much shit. And because I had integrity to hold myself to it. The greatest mixture for success is savage self-talk plus auto-suggestion. When we consistently tell ourselves we're going to react in certain manners in certain situations, and then we follow through, we're indestructible. I don't crack no more. It's not.
You're indestructible. Your hairline is destructible.
Not gonna happen. Someone comes up, wants an issue, I'm handling it the right way. Because I've talked myself into these situations so many times, time and time again.
Time and time.
I've learned to validate myself through my character and my actions, not letting anyone else dictate them. So the point being, in the penitentiary, respect is paramount. Do not let your fucking choices be dictated by people in the pen who don't give a shit about you and don't back up their word. Make your choices out here. Humble yourself out here before life humbles you. And you.
Wes, do you think people in prison are telling people on the streets what to do that aren't involved in the lifestyle? What the fuck? I thought you were about to. You just said the point is, and you haven't made a point yet that I can understand. Oh damn! Why is your mouth like that?
You end up in the penitentiary before you end up in the shoe. I've told you guys a million times, I was in tears when the sergeant and the captain came around and they said, "Hey Watson, you seen those pictures? You seen what you did to that guy? You have 2 strikes. This is it for you. It's a life sentence." You better believe I was in tears.
The cops punked him. Listen. I have never had a CO tell me. And why was it a sergeant? Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Hold up. This is interesting.
You seen those pictures? You seen what I've told you guys a million times, I was in tears when the sergeant and the captain came around and they said, "Hey Watson." So you can get a lieutenant review and a captain's review when it's a serious 115. But he's got a sergeant and a captain. And then they carry enough to... Wow, Wes, did you see the pictures? Like, so these cops, did they just start that day and they became a captain and a sergeant that day? Because in a California prison, they've seen stabbings and killings and shit. Like strangulations, like really bad crime scenes. And they're worried about your fist fight, and they're worried about you being a 2-striker and catching life. If they did that, let's go ahead and go down this little rabbit hole that they did do this. Is because they knew you were a crybaby, and they wanted to laugh at you. And you gave them what they wanted. You cried because you're going to go to the shoe? You cried because you might catch a life sentence when you're supposedly a gangster? You weren't really with it. You seen those pictures? You seen what you did to that guy? You have 2 strikes. This is it for you. It's a life sentence. You better believe I was in tears. I was writing my homegirl Audra that I spoke of a letter, and that shit was covered in tears. I just wanted to show her my pain on the paper. You motherfuckers ain't hard enough. Did the tears stay there? Like when they landed, did they turn a certain color and you told her, "Hey, you see these pink dots right here that are kind of like a little rose looking? Those are my tears, Audra. My pain. I'm in a lot of pain. You know I'm supposed to be a man. I'm in prison, but I'm in a lot of pain because I got in a fist fight with somebody and accidentally made his lip bleed." You're not. Nobody is. That dude in the back doing all day,
yeah.
He ain't showing you how he really feels. Dude's broken. They took it all out of him. He's done. He's washed. Do you want that? You want that all day?
Do you want that?
You're not ready for it.
You're not ready for it.
So what you
He's
have
not either.
to do is validate yourself with your conduct, your character, get your outcome,
Your
follow
tears.
your vision.
Your
Let
tears.
your daily habits guide you to your ultimate destiny. If your
Tissues.
daily habits are in line with the future you desire, you'll always win, and you're in control of that.
Wow, that was, yeah, okay. Well, thank you. That's the video I was going to do right there. Hater biased mindset. Let me know if I should do that one. I haven't seen it. I just saw the name and I was like, is he in the mirror, the whole fucking thing? Anyways, that's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.